He had wandered far before this: Varangian and Byzantium, exile in Rus, conqueror returned from the east, but now his gaze turned west. In late summer 1066, the North Sea darkened with 200 sails. At their head stood King Harald Hardrada of Norway, warrior, exile, ruler forged by foreign wars. His purpose was clear: to claim England's crown, once promised by treaty to his line. Beside him stood Tostig Godwinson, the exiled Earl of Northumbria, brother to England's current king and traitor to his own blood. Together they gathered 10,000 men, veterans of distant campaigns, chanting old hymns to Odin and Christ alike as the winds drove them south. They landed on Yorkshire's coast, burning Scarborough to ash to show England that the old northern fury had returned. When battle came at Fulford, the Saxon earls Edwin and Morcar broke beneath the northern charge. York surrendered. For the first time in generations, England answered to a Viking king again, and Hardrada believed his destiny was at hand. But another Harold was coming. From London, King Harold Godwinson marched north with astonishing speed, covering nearly 200 miles in 4 days. Hardrada's army, scattered and half-armored, expected no fight that morning. They waited for hostages, not war. The September sun burned gently over the River Derwent, where a narrow wooden bridge gave the place its name, Stamford Bridge. There, the last Viking host stood unprepared at dawn. Between the armies, Tostig met his brother beneath a white flag. Godwinson offered peace and restoration if he switched sides. Tostig asked, "And what for the King of Norway?"
6 feet of English ground or more if he needs it.
Hardrada laughed when he heard it. Then he drew his sword. Before the armies clashed, one Norse warrior held the bridge alone, cutting down scores of Saxons, until a spear rose from beneath the planks and ended his stand. The English fluttered across, slamming into the unready shield wall. Hardrada fought like a thunderstorm, his golden mail shining as he led a charge that nearly turned the tide. Then the arrow found him. As he fell, his line broke. The triangular banner collapsed, and with it, the iron heart of the North. The Norwegians fought on until night, their reinforcements arriving too late to matter. When the battle ended, only a handful of ships sailed back across the Grey Sea. Out of 200 longships that had come from Norway, perhaps 20 returned. In both saga and scripture, Hardrada's death became the dividing line between ages. His life had spanned the last chapter of a world ruled by chieftains and raiders. He had conquered in the east, serving Byzantine emperors. He had seen Jerusalem and returned home crowned in glory. Yet England, not Constantinople, became his grave. Those who survived carried tales northward. In the fireside recitations of Norway and Iceland, he grew into legend, the hard ruler, the thunderbolt of the north. Greatness had not spared him, it had consumed him. The same ambition that built his armies had drawn him into a trap he could never escape. For centuries afterward, poets said his fall closed the saga of the Sea Kings. At Stamford Bridge, something older than a crown was lost. The age of warriors raising kingdoms by their swords gave way to the age of kings ruling through law and church. Harold Godwinson's victory lasted only weeks before another invader came from the south, William of Normandy, ending Anglo-Saxon rule. Yet in that brief moment of triumph, England had killed the last of the Viking kings. Hardrada's body was returned to Norway, his bones resting in earth colder and quieter than any battlefield. By his grave, people whispered his deeds: the youth who fought beside saints, the wanderer who ruled in Byzantium, the king who crossed the world to die for a crown. Beneath his story lay something deeper, the passing of the old northern soul itself. After his death, no fleets ever again thundered from the fjords toward Britain. The longships were hauled ashore and left to rot, their oars unmoving in the tide. From the Rhine to the North Sea, silence followed where longships once sang. Yet in that silence, the memory endured, the fierce defiance of a man who refused to belong to the New World. Harald Hardrada, last of the Vikings, stood against time itself, and time, at last, won.
Voices of Helvetia. The echoes of history are endless. Which one should we follow next?